Namaste, everyone. All right, back again with Shiva. Um, Today we're going to talk about me as the vessel, as formerly known as Mark Quan Moorhead. All right, so it's been a year since my awakening, and life has been very strange. This Kundalini awakening and this ascension and enlightenment, all this that's happened to me has totally altered my life. And I mean, it has totally altered it. It's frustrating and wonderful at the same time, but it's like dealing with too much information that I never wanted to ever know. And I wish I kind of didn't do this Kundalini awakening. I was being possessed to do this though, guys. And I would hear voices in my head just tell me to do things like go upstairs and blindfold myself and keep my eyes open. Whatever we show you in the blindfold, do not freak out. I would just hear these distinct voices. And my life is strange. It's always been strange. Ever since I was a kid. And it all started even way before this Kundalini awakening. It all started when I killed myself when I was a kid. I was at a foster home and I stuck a butter knife through a light socket and died. I died when I was a kid, when I was 3 years old in this foster home. I wasn't, the woman wasn't paying attention to me. So again, a voice told me to go to the kitchen, get this out of the drawer, and stick it in the light socket. And when I did that, my whole body heated up. Everything went black. The one thing that I can remember in between death and then coming back to coherence with surrounded by paramedics was that I had this experience in this well, and it was full of black water. And at the top of this well was just like a black sky, and there was an orb of light. Now, I was in this well. In my mind, I thought it was a dream that lasted for about a good solid 3 weeks to a month. But from what Shiva was saying, it was a lot longer than that. About 7 months, because I was dead for 7 minutes. So I was in this well of black water, and I kept seeing like aquatic fish, demon-like tentacle type shit that no kid has ever seen before, because at 3 years old, I didn't have knowledge of marine biology. And this shit was like depths of the ocean type, hellish type, reptilian, octopusy like tentacle, octopus, like Cthulhu type shit. And like they were eating on me and whipping me around in this darkness of this water, and I could feel sensations of drowning, but I could not drown. I would get knocked against the wall, and I would try to climb up the wall to the orb of light that I thought that was the moon, but it wasn't. It was Shiva. And I'm trying to climb up these old style cobblestone walls. I mean, this shit looked like some ancient ass well shit. Like, this well was ancient. Even the reality itself was ancient. And I can't even climb up this wall because I have no hands and arms. So what the hell am I? I assumed I was awareness. And then I just started to relax. This shit would happen. They kept pulling me underwater. I could not drown. I could not die. They kept eating on my center area and whipping me around, tangling me up. I would hit the wall, try to climb up, and I had no hands and arms. So what the hell am I? And then I just said, fuck it. You know what? I'm just going to relax. They can't obviously kill me. I can't obviously die. I'm just going to sit here and just be still. And once I stilled my mind and just let these fucking demons or whatever the hell they were just do whatever they were doing to me, I just let go. And then I was revived, and I was back in the foster home under their care. And I went to another foster home, and I lost track of time for 2 days. So having this experience of being born out of hell, or however the hell I escaped, let's just say the past comes to haunt you more than you know. So basically, since I got out of this hell state and I had this experience with hell, I was back in my body and my whole mind was blank. Like everything, I had to relearn everything. I had to relearn language, English. Oh, it was a mess. My brain was messed up. This is when I was like suffered from autism, early form of it. When autism wasn't really like known about heavy, I was slow growing up, incredibly slow, because I had this mind death, electric shock, and my brain was like back to zero again. So anyways, time progresses. I'm 12 years old, and then I wake up one night in the middle of my bed, and with the covers, I used to sleep with the covers on. I pulled off the covers, and there's this black woman above me with slicked hair. Her hair was like slicked back, and it had nothing but like mud, black mud in it. And her eyes was big. Her cornea was her iris was like deep red, reddish orange, fully dilated pupils, very intense, and she had I thought it was a bone when I was a kid, but she had a white eye up here. She had an eye up here, right in the center, and she was a dark-skinned woman, and she had cuts on her body that was ancient, because when you look at the cuts on her body, they were like battle cuts, like jagged, abrasive cuts, but the flesh was so dried from like years of I mean, I'm talking like hundreds of years of dried skin. And she was really, because this actually happened. And she was so worn out from fighting, and she scared me. But as soon as I took the covers off, I saw her just as physical as you see each other every day. A physical presence of this black woman was above me, looking directly at my face. And right when I was about to scream or call out for my grandmother, I heard this loud, booming voice in my head says, "Whatever you do, do not scream. Do not yell. You do not want to see her when she opens her mouth." I remember that, and I'm like, why would something like that say? So I didn't say anything, because I listened to the voice. It said, "Whatever do not scream. Whatever you do not want to see her when she opens her mouth." So I didn't understand that, so I didn't scream. I just sat there, and she just, this woman just had this stern look on her face, a focus. But when I kept staring into her eyes, regardless of the bone that was exposed from her cheekbone and her chin down here from being worn, I thought these were horns. But later on, as I channeled this entity, she explained it was her bone being exposed from being in here. So I seen this woman. I looked at her. She was startling. But when I looked in her eyes, I knew there was knowledge there. I knew she knew more than my grandmother. I knew she knew more than anything that I've ever seen in my life. There was no person in this plane of existence that knew more than her. Nobody. And she knew all. And I knew that she knew more information than anybody. And I just took the covers up, put it back over my head, stayed awake all the way up until it was time to go to school that morning. I was freaking out. I freaked out. I didn't know who the hell this black woman with 3 eyes looking at me with this big ass hair slicked all the way back. Didn't come to find out till recently, last year, that this was Kali. So Kali visited me that night, and I've been channeling her too ever since. And I gained a really close, deep personal relationship with Kali, more than y'all guys know. And me and Kali speak to each other on a regular basis. And this is no joke. I can't go back with what's happened to me as being a channeler, channeling divine, and channeling the personality of Kali, which kind of showed on one of my videos back in the day when I channeled her. And it doesn't take for me to go into deep channeling. It's instant with these guys, what they've done to me. And my life has totally changed. I haven't been the same ever since. I definitely knew this when I woke up last year from my death, when I crossed over and came back. And I was hysterically, laughing hysterically out of my death, laughing hysterically, saying my whole life was a lie. Everything that has been taught to me has been a lie. Everything has been a fucking lie. My life has been a fucking lie. And I just kept laughing about it because I knew all information of all this about this place, what people are, what we have been. And I knew everything. And when I laughed that day, it wasn't my laughter. When I looked in the mirror and looked into my eyes, I didn't see myself anymore. I saw something else behind my eyes. Guys, since my ascension and my awakening, I have seen stuff bleed through reality, mandalas rotating in the air. My ex-wife now has experienced these mandalas and these manifestations in this house. Our house is haunted by the divine, not by demons. Nothing but everything that these guys has been telling me has been coming true. Everything that these guys have been saying has came true. There's things that's happened in my personal life when I've been dealing with Shiva that has been happening for me. Since I've had God in my life, everything has been happening for me. I've had things disappear off of my records. I've had weird cases to where I go to court and shit don't exist no more. I'm always have a feeling of angelic presences all around me at all times. No longer smoke cigarettes, drink beer, drink liquor, don't eat meat anymore. Unless it's like divine, like goat or lamb, because I know the rules of this place. And I can't even do that on a regular basis. Learning about transpositioning and jumping realities on a regular basis every time we sleep or when we close our eyes. You know, it's knowing about black magic, knowing what black magic is and what we're living inside of, which is black magic, because this place is what it is. It's hell. This is the fifth hell. Too much information that I needed to know has been bombarded on me, and the information won't stop. And all I do is now is teach people and banish demons out of homes and chant mantra. So anyways, with this newly found gift and curse, I wouldn't even call it a curse. More like a blessing beyond blessings with incredible sadness. You know, the strange things that always continuously happen, like I couldn't rap before. I never could drop 4 bars. I would only get up to 4 bars. I can't rap, so now I can, all of a sudden, through channeling Shiva. And when I rap with him, or when he channels information through me as he flows through my mouth, it's like it's all about quantum mechanics and Buddhism and God, you know, and life. Real, true understanding of love. So, a lot of impactful things in my life. When I was awakened last year, even when I went out in public, all of a sudden people just started staring at me for no apparent reason, or their heads would turn towards my direction and just stare. I didn't understand that. Like, nobody was never looking at me before, not in abundance, but all of a sudden everybody's just honed in on me. Strange people I've never seen walked into my job. Everybody's heads turned my direction, like, that's never happened before. And I've been working at this place for a while. So anyways, family. My grandmother knew I wasn't the same person. My brothers don't even think I'm their brother anymore. They know I'm somebody totally different. And now it's like I got this massive rejection from even the people I grew up with. They knew that they know that I'm going through this dramatic change. So I'm losing, and I'm being forced to sacrifice everything. My life, my business, my family, even I was with a woman for 8 years that I still love. She doesn't want me anymore because of what I am now. you know? And so I even had to sacrifice a fiance. I had to let it all go, guys. I had to sacrifice everything. And the only thing now I have is my equipment for my music. And the internet to reach out to you guys to let you know that for those that know me, that used to know me for the past 38 years, they know I'm not the same person. I know too much. I know everything about how relationships work now. I know why relationships go south. I know why people are being manipulated. I know what consciousness is. I know what God consciousness is because I attained God consciousness. And having this knowledge is like, it takes a toll on me to where I have to wear Rudraksha seeds. Even when I sleep, I have to wear 1,180 seeds. Guys, I've got all this information, and I'm getting ready to share all this publicly. And this is by the best way of doing it. So if you guys think I'm some kind of hoax, or you think I'm some kind of fraud, you are, man, listen, guys. I grew up Southern Baptist. I never knew what a Shiva was. I never knew. But I used to have dreams of him when I was a kid. I used to have dreams of talking to this big giant. Tall, skinny giant. Beautiful. And the face is pretty. And he wore nothing but these seeds. And he would be in his cave. And his cave was like a giant cave. And he sat on this giant stone block. And he would just laugh, and I would just see him laughing all the time, and then I would wake up these mornings in grade school like having divine knowledge of information, even back then as a kid. And then I would go to sleep and forget everything. So sleep does something to our memories, guys, when they're trying to wake us up. And I became awakened, and all the demons in hell are pissed. And we don't care. We're not holding no punches. I know I cannot be destroyed. I know I cannot be destroyed. I know I cannot be destroyed. I can only be destroyed by observational standpoints. You will see me be destroyed. I will come right back. Guys, please put me out of my misery. Please, somebody assassinate me so I can go home. But they won't let me go home. Yeah. I got a job to do with you guys. And that's to let y'all guys know that heaven is real. God is real, and it's Om. It's Om. It's Om. I'm not joking. I grew up Baptist. I didn't know none of this shit. I know everything about Hinduism, Jainism, Shivaism, and Buddhism. I know everything about it with no internet sourcing. I know everything about the Vedas. I know everything about the Upanishads. I know everything about the Quran and the Kabbalah. I know everything. And I'm not supposed to know this shit. The only thing I knew was playing Call of Duty, doing headshots on a regular basis, drinking Still Reserve, smoking packs of Newports every day, smoking blunts after blunts, dropping N-bombs everywhere, MF words everywhere, couldn't rap, oh my, I thought I was normal. I thought that was normal. Well, guys, if this is normal what I am now, then what is normal? I guess it takes crazy to know crazy, right? And I discovered the craziest truth of what they don't want us to know. All right? Peace out, guys.